Avengers Talk Entertainment. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video, we're going to discuss Marvel's big announcement yesterday. Yes, and unfortunately I had to work yesterday, so I didn't get an opportunity to really jump on board and do a video. And then I came home from work and I did do one. And I decided not to use that video because I kind of tried to talk about everything in one video and then try to bunch it all in 10 minutes. And I decided, you know what, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do a video about everything that was announced individually. I want to talk about Black Panther. I want to talk about Captain Marvel, the Inhumans. But before I get to all those videos, and those will be out as the days progress and go on, but I want to talk about how I feel about the overall announcement, just everything they showed. I was fortunate enough to see the video of the part of the conference and basically the reveal of everything. And it was just a fantastic feeling watching that. It was great. And I think right now, Marvel is just at the point now where they really almost can't lose. You know, I mean, it's amazing how they have just come on the scene over the last couple of years, starting with Iron Man, and they just literally slowly have taken ownership of the superhero genre and also pushed the superhero genre to the top of the list, basically. When I saw the movies that were announced, probably the biggest one I was happiest for was Black Panther. That was probably one that satisfied me the most. They're basically just taking the Avengers universe, more or less, all these characters that are surrounding the Avengers and the storylines, and they're just throwing it all out there. I mean, you know, they don't have X-Men, they don't have Spider-Man, so they're going to focus on what, you know, they have control over. But the amazing thing, and this is just a testament to their production talent, you know, when you think about the Avengers, and you think about some of the characters that are involved in that universe or that portion of the Marvel universe, they're not nearly as traditionally, that's changed now, but traditionally growing up, they were not as popular during the time I grew up as like the X-Men, you know, or Spider-Man, or, you know, sometimes they would make some dramatic roster changes to the Avengers to kind of spice it up a bit. You know, the Avengers were really popular during the time my father grew up. My father is a hardcore old school Avenger fan, and his favorite character is Captain America. But, you know, my father's in his 60s. That's the time where all that stuff was hot. So for them to take these movies now and bring them into the fold and really make them popular, and for them to be as popular as they are, is incredible. When you think of Iron Man, you know, the first Iron Man, everybody loved it. Robert Downey Jr. is just the perfect Tony Stark. But when you think back to the comic, to be quite honest, even when I was growing up, not so much during my father's era, the Silver Age of comics is what they call that, Iron Man was just barely over the cusp of a B-line comic character. That's not so much the case now, even in the comics. But when I was growing up, he was not even, when you ask people their favorite Marvel comic characters, he didn't even pop up. Thor did not pop up. Captain America every now and then, but for the most part, those guys were not mentioned. If you ask somebody when I was growing up in the early 90s, late 80s, who their favorite Marvel character was, you did not hear Captain America. You did not hear Iron Man. You did not hear Thor. You heard Spider-Man, Wolverine, Cyclops. So a lot of the X-Men. The X-Men were pretty big when I was growing up. Spider-Man, obviously the Hulk. The Hulk was, you know, it's funny. The Hulk was really popular when I was growing up, and he seems less so now. And then now he's getting popular again. Obviously the movie's hitting, you know, home run with that. And then of course, Planet Hulk and World War Hulk, two comics that I'm actually currently reading right now, that are very good. Very, very good. Very good stuff there. I'm actually reading House of M. I haven't started reading it, but I have these comics aside. The whole Planet Hulk, World War Hulk series, Civil War, and House of M. I have those right now. I have every issue possible, and I've started to read with the Hulk series. So, but anyway, besides that, yeah. So you know, it's amazing what they've done with this. And now, during this announcement yesterday, and when I was watching the video, I got such chills. Because, you know, I see, you know, the Infinity Gauntlet was the prime when I was growing up, man. That was one of, you know, there was the Infinity Gauntlet, the Infinity Crusade, that came shortly after. Another big series that, unfortunately, we'll never get to see unfold is one of my favorite series, is the Inferno series. But that kind of took place mainly with the X-Men, but the Avengers were involved, so were the Fantastic Four. But unfortunately, that's a series we'll never see. You know, and to see the Infinity Gauntlet come onto screen, man, to me is just like, I mean, you want to talk about just pulling something that I remember reading out of the comic and putting it in front of me. And when they showed that scene of Thanos with the glove turning and going like this, man, the chills just went up and down my spine. It was such an amazing feeling to see this. And, you know, they've done such a great job now. And then you think about what Ultron's going to be and how that looks. the little mini trailer they gave at that event yesterday with Thanos announcing Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2 for 2018 and 2019, that was just incredible. It was incredible to watch that. And it's nice to see that you can more or less confirm, it's not official confirmation, but the trailer that they showed, and it wasn't like a trailer, like it was just different cuts from different movies that they've developed, you know, Iron Man, Avengers, but what they did throw in there was Guardians of the Galaxy. So I'm wondering, you know, it's safe to say that those two worlds are obviously going to collide. And one thing that they said at the conference too was Captain Marvel apparently is going to be a big part of that. I mean, I think it's safe to assume at this point that what they have already established and what they're going to establish in terms of like Black Panther, Captain Marvel, they're all going to be involved in this war. I think at some point or another. I'm not too sure about the Inhumans, but the Inhumans are in that same realm and universe. It's just incredible what they're doing right now. And, it was so amazing to sit there. And I mean, I remember, did anybody else remember playing Marvel Superheroes? Marvel Superheroes was about the Infinity Gauntlet. You know what I mean? And I remember you used to play, and Iron Man was in it, Spider-Man, and you used to fight each other, and whoever got the gems, and you could collect the gems and enhance your character's fighting ability. I mean, that's what I grew up with, man. This storyline, that game that took place with the storyline, and then now to know that 4 years from now, I'm going to be watching a movie about a comic that I read as a kid that I admittedly don't remember 100%, which is a good thing because I'm going to see how they do it on screen. And, it's just incredible. It's an incredible feeling, for someone my age. You know what I mean? I know a lot of you guys might have had to go back and read those stories, but these stories were on the shelves, man, when I was young. So it's just great stuff to see them on screen. And, so my overall feeling about what Marvel's doing is I'm all for it. You know, I will admit, you know, there was a point in time where I was questioning whether it's getting oversaturated. And you know what? To be honest, in some ways it is. But I don't mind oversaturation if they're going to deliver quality. And so far, Marvel's just been delivering quality. And, I have no complaints about what they're doing. None whatsoever. And the reason is because no matter what, every Marvel movie I've seen for the most part has been fun. They deliver fun. They deliver good, lighthearted comedy, some action. They look like they're going to take a darker tone with Ultron, which is fine. But they just entertain, man. That's what it comes down to. You go into a Marvel film and you come out and you're entertained. And I know there's some people out there who hate Marvel, and that's fine. It's not for everybody. It's not. And I know there's people out there talking about this whole DC Marvel war. There's no war, man. I don't mean to be disrespectful to DC people, but let's be honest, man. You can't even argue with this. They're just thrashing DC right now. DC at this point shouldn't even try to compete with them. Just concentrate on making your movies, deliver on your end, and your fans will go and enjoy it. And even people like me will go and enjoy it, because I'm definitely going to see Batman versus Superman. There's no doubt about that. I don't give a fuck when they move the date, you know? But it's just amazing now how things have changed over the years and how things have transitioned from the comic. Because if you asked anyone 10 years ago who would win in terms of popularity for a series that involved Batman versus Superman against Captain versus Iron Man, I guarantee you Batman versus Superman would have won. Where now, I'm willing to bet that come the year when Captain America Civil War comes out, and that's what it's officially called now, Civil War, but I heard it's only a name, doesn't mean Civil War. But when that movie comes out and it's up against, not directly, because obviously DC moved Warner Brothers moved the movie, but overall numbers, when you're going to compare Batman versus Superman that year against Cap's Civil War, where he faces off against Iron Man, you'd be hard pressed to bet that Marvel will win that competition. They will sell more tickets, and you would never ever even dare say that in the comic world when I was growing up, because while Cap and Iron Man were cool, there was no way they could go toe to toe or stand up against a Batman versus Superman series, where now it's almost a sure shot that they could take the crown in 2016 in terms of the most revenue. So we'll see. You know, it's just good stuff. It's friendly competition. It's great. This is what entertainment's all about. It's having fun with the things you love. And Marvel's just hitting a home run right now. They did great. I'm very happy with what they have planned. And I'm going to be discussing some of their plans in more detail. I definitely want to talk about Black Panther because I'm very excited about that. I want to talk about Captain Marvel and their decision to use the Carol Danvers version of Captain Marvel, which I thought was a great idea. The Inhumans, obviously, we'll discuss that. The Cap Civil War, I definitely want to discuss that because something I discussed in my last video regarding that. I thought they might do, which is something they look like they're going to do. So, and like I said, those will be videos that I'm going to be doing over the course of the next couple of days. I'm not going to be doing them all in one day, but it's definitely good material to talk about. I want to hear a lot of you guys' thoughts about it. I know there's a lot of Marvel fans out there, especially here on the channel. And yeah, man, it's a fun time to talk about this stuff. And of course, Age of Ultron, that extra scene in the beginning last night in front of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is fantastic. So anyway, guys, so sorry for the long video, but definitely share your thoughts on the bottom about how you feel about all this Marvel news. It's a lot to take in and somewhat even overwhelming, the amount of content they got coming out over the next 7 years. But you'd be hard pressed to find somebody who's not for it. So this is Rob signing off for ETN, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching ETN. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe. Join the nation's Facebook page to meet other subscribers or visit ETN's Facebook page and Twitter page. Links for all are in the description. You're watching ETN, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video, we're going to discuss Marvel's big announcement yesterday. Yes, and unfortunately I had to work yesterday, so I didn't get an opportunity to really jump on board and do a video. And then I came home from work and I did do one, and I decided not to use that video because I kind of tried to talk about everything in one video and then try to bunch it all in 10 minutes. And I said, you know what, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do a video about everything that was announced individually. I want to talk about Black Panther. I want to talk about Captain Marvel, the Inhumans. But before I get to all those videos, and those will be out as the days progress and go on, but I want to talk about how I feel about the overall announcement, just everything they showed. I was fortunate enough to see the video of the part of the conference and basically the reveal of everything. And it was just a fantastic feeling watching that. It was great. And I think right now, Marvel is just at the point now where they really almost can't lose. You know, I mean, it's amazing how they have just come on the scene over the last couple of years, starting with Iron Man, and they just literally slowly have taken ownership of the superhero genre and also pushed the superhero genre to the top of the list, basically. When I saw the movies that were announced, probably the biggest one I was happiest for was Black Panther. That was probably one that satisfied me the most. They're basically just taking the Avengers